Hello and welcome to the course Climate Hazards and Disaster Mitigation. Today we are going to discuss the key aspects of the Disaster Management Act 2005, India. What we learned last time, we understood the developmental history of the Disaster Management Act 2005. We also presented an overview of the Disaster Management Act and we recognize the roles, responsibilities and functions of the National Disaster Management Authority. In today's lecture, our learning objectives are: we'll present the key aspects of the Disaster Management Act 2005. We'll discuss the formation of the state disaster management authorities and their functions, and we'll also explain the functioning of the district disaster management authority. So continuing our discussion from the past lecture, so in chapter 3, the state disaster management authorities are outlined, where the sections indicate how they are established, how they will conduct meetings, appointment of officers and staff, and the advisory committee. So SDMA, that is the State Disaster Management Authority, is a state level apex body for disaster management which is led by the Chief Minister to ensure policy, direction, coordination and effective implementation. So it has to be established through a gazette notification. So the chairperson is the Chief Minister. It can have up to 8 members, and the chairperson of the State Executive Committee is also an ex officio member. There will be one nominated member, can be the vice chairman, who can conduct the proceedings in absence of the chairperson. However, we should be mindful that in case of union territories, some special rule apply because they are not under state directive and they are governed by the Government of India. The SDMA functions through the regular meetings, administrative support and expert advisory committees. So the meetings are conducted time to time as decided by the chairperson. The appointment of officers and staff are also as per the state government rules, and the advisory committee can be formed for technical support and guidance. The powers and functions of the SDMA, they include mainly framing disaster management policies and plans at the state level, because each state can have different geography. For example, if we consider Tamil Nadu, the disasters at Tamil Nadu will be different. For example, there can be tsunami, floods, extreme rainfall, heat waves, etc. But if you are talking about Himachal Pradesh, the disasters will be different. There can be avalanches, there can be landslides, there can be floods, then cloud burst. So that is why state level policy formulation is very important when talk about the geographical diversity in a country like India. So the SDMA will coordinate and approve the disaster management plan as per the national guidelines. So there are certain guidelines laid by the center which cannot be deviated, but of course some provisions can be made as per the regional geography. It also approves the district and urban disaster management plan. It issued guidelines to integrate disaster prevention into development projects and coordinates the execution of the disaster management plan. It also ensures DRR is included in the developmental projects. It will review the mitigation, capacity building and preparedness of different departments. It will coordinate and monitor the implementation of both national and state disaster policies. It will issue guidelines to the state, district and urban levels. It will promote awareness about disasters. It will educate community and train them. It will provide again technical guidance to the district, local and urban authorities. It will fix standards for relief for disaster affected people, that it should not be below the national minimum standards, and it will also maintain database for the state level and then integrate it to the national database. Section 20 deals with the constitution of state committee, then 21 with the subcommittees, and 22 with the functions of the state executive committee. So similar to the National Executive Committee, we have the State Executive Committee, which will ensure coordination and compliance with the disaster management directions. The Chief Secretary of the state will act as a chairperson of the committee, and there will be 4 more secretaries from various state government departments which will be nominated by the state government. There is an additional inclusion of the Director General of Police, because the law and order will be enforced by the DGP, because law and order is a state subject, not a national subject. So in the National Executive Committee, you will not find the police involvement, but in the state subject you will find it. The subcommittee's formation as and when required will be created by the chairperson, and they will be remunerated accordingly. The functions of the State Executive Committee involves implementation of the national and state disaster management plan and coordination between various agencies, identify disaster prone areas in the state and recommend prevention measures, monitor the implementation of disaster management plans at for the state departments, district authorities as well as urban authorities, ensure disaster prevention and mitigation in any developmental projects. For example, in Maharashtra they might create a Mumbai, create the Mumbai Worli sea link. So what disaster management, because let us say the only access to that sea link is through 2 land routes. So if anything happens to those 2 land routes and there is some more disaster, then people are stuck on that sea link, then how the support and relief to be provided to the people who are stuck there, so that has to be thought of. Then some important areas where let us say the Konkan Railway. So in Konkan Railway the railway route is there, but land route may not be accessible in some areas, so how the relief has to be provided. So all such projects has to be viewed from the lens of disaster mitigation support as well. There should be response coordination among different agencies. Direction should be issued during the disaster, which has to be followed. Interagency coordination is very important. Disaster related financial matters should be considered. In case of a disaster, for example hailstorm, the crops are destroyed, then how the compensation should be made, that should be thought of. Response planning, the state agency should ensure and oversees that response is provided in accordance with the guidelines and updated regularly. There should be communication system should work properly and ensure effective drills are considered regularly. Section 23 deals with the state disaster management plan, and 24 with the state executive committee during the disaster. So every state must have a formal plan which should be again approved with the national agencies. It should not deviate with the national guidelines which are laid down. They cannot have some alien clauses which are not there in the national guidelines. The state plan shall include hazard and vulnerability assessment, specific actions to reduce disasters, development integration should also be considered, training and preparedness and community awareness should be incorporated, and clearly outlining the roles and responsibility of the agencies. The state plan should be reviewed every 3 years and updated once in every 5 years. The government should allocate specific funds to implement those plans, and the department should work in coordination for execution of plans. The state executive committee, what are the powers vested in that? It can control traffic in affected or vulnerable area. It can control movement, that is entry, exit and movement of people in disaster zones. It can clear debris and conduct search and rescue operation. It can provide shelter, food, water and healthcare and other essential services. It can direct state, district and urban authorities to carry out rescue. It compel department or people to provide resources. For example, some department has in case of flood, you require speedboats in case roads are flooded. So it can direct the department that irrespective the boats are not designed for that purpose, but it is required in this case, then they have to give that particular infrastructure. It can also engage technical support, that is experts from technical institutions like IITs, NITs and other institutions, then from health institutions like AIIMS etc. for assistance. It can build temporary infrastructure and demolish the unsafe infrastructures, and it can timely disseminate the information to the public. Section 25 deals with the constitution of District Disaster Management Authority. So we are moving to chapter 4. Powers of the chairperson of such authority, the advisory committee, appointment of staff, district plan and other statutory norms. So the District Disaster Management Authority DDMA is again established through a gazette notification. It consists of a chairperson and up to 7 members. So you can see the members are gradually decreasing. The NDMA has 9, SDMA has 8 and the DDMA has 7. The district collector, district magistrate and deputy commissioner can be the ex officio chairperson of the DDMA. An elected local representative may act as a co-chairperson, or in the 6th schedule areas, the chief executive members of the district council hold this role. So the 6th schedule areas is notified by the Government of India in certain regions like Northeast or Ladakh, these kind of regions. The Chief Executive Officer, that is CEO, serves as the ex officio member who will look after the administration. The Superintendent of the Police, that is SP, will ensure law and order. The Chief Medical Officer will manage medical preparedness and emergency healthcare, and there are up to 2 members which are appointed from various district officers or disaster experts or the civil society to strengthen the organization. Where a Zilla Parishad exists, the chairperson automatically becomes a co-chairperson, and the state government will appoint a senior district officer as the CEO to exercise the prescribed and delegated powers. What are the powers of the chairperson? The chairperson presides over the meeting. In emergency situation may exercise all powers which are vested by the district authority, and it may delegate special powers to the CEO under defined conditions. The advisory and other committees, so they can also establish an advisory committee at local levels, and the allowances can be given to the experts. What are the functions and powers of the DDMA? So it is a nodal body at the lowest level to coordinate and implement all disaster mitigation efforts. It will prepare district disaster management plan and district response plan. It will identify the disaster prone areas in the district and ensure mitigation measures for that, and it will ensure all district departments and local authorities will follow the guidelines. It will issue preventive directions. It will guide the local disaster management plans. It will monitor departmental disaster management plans. It will integrate DRR into development. It will monitor DRR measures are effectively implemented or not. It will review the response capacity in case of disaster. It will also review the preparedness levels of the disaster and train officials and volunteers. Community awareness is one of the things. Early warning information system will be in place, because in case of any disaster, the district collector is a nodal officer. So if it is a national level disaster, so the district collector will give information to the state unit, state will give to the national unit, and then it will be disseminated to the Prime Minister. So the plan of action is this way. So the role of DDMA is very central because it is the local agency in this case. Technical support to the local body should be provided within the districts. Enforcement of building safety standards should be there. There should be relief camps should be identified. Stockpiling of relief materials should be ensured. Then communication systems should be proper and functional, and mock drills should be conducted. In case of district plan, every district must have a plan which should be approved by the state authority. Details about training, infrastructure and preparedness should be there. The following response plans and procedures should be followed. Clearly assign the disaster response duties. Prompt relief and response should be provided. Resource procurement should be done timely. Communication system should be working, and there should be public dissemination system. The district plan should be reviewed and updated once in every 2 years. So once in every 2 years it should be updated. There should be copies of this plan to all district level government departments. Coming to section 32, the disaster management plan by district level authorities. So the plan should be prepared, which should cover the following aspect: prevention and mitigation measures, capacity building and response plans. Along with that, coordination with stakeholders. There should be regular review and updating and submission of that to the district authority. Coming to the functions and powers of the district authority, so they can direct any department or local body to release or use resources, traffic regulation, movement of people in disaster affected areas, search and rescue operations, emergency communication, management of unclaimed bodies, engagement of experts, use of public and private amenities, regulation of NGOs and residual emergency powers. What are the key takeaways from this? The SDMA is a state level apex body chaired by the Chief Minister. The State Executive Committee is the operational arm of SDMA, which ensures coordination, enforcement and execution. Every state must officially set up DDMA for each district, which is chaired by district collector, magistrate or deputy commissioner, and DDMA looks after the local level actions and monitoring in line with the state and national policies. These are the additional learning resources. Thank you for attention. In the next lecture, we'll see the way forward and challenges in the Disaster Management Act. Thank you.